Hello everyone, this is Ashika. Now I'm going to present about the medical cost data analysis by using Excel. The contents of my presentation are the data overview, and we will going to measure the central tendency, gender analysis, and analysis of smoking on the cost depends as nothing but overall we will going to analyze what are the key factors that influences the medical cost, and also we'll done the correlation analysis and all things we'll going to do. And at the last we will going to create one dash interactive dashboard for the easy understanding. Before going to analysis, first we will understand the data. Overview is nothing but data. What are the key columns the data set is having? So here the medical cost data is contains age, sex, BMI, children, smoker, reason, and the medical charges. So these are the key columns. Then the first and foremost step of any data analysis is to data cleaning. Is nothing but we will going to identify the blank values, duplicate values. Then if it is having the missing values or the blank values, we will going to replace it with a mean or median according to the data. And also we will convert the data type, standardize the data. So for example, here you can see the smoker is nothing but smoking status. It is having yes or no kind of a thing. It's a boolean type of data. If it is a text, we need to convert it. So and if the age column is a numeric value. If it is in other data type, that we need to convert it. So like that we need to check the each and every column whether it is contain the blank values or the duplicate values or the data type that we need to check before going to the analysis. In Excel we will going to do that by applying the filter on each column. We will going to check all those things that I have done. Then the first task is to analyze the age and medical charges, and also the BMI is nothing but the measure of central tendency. That is to calculate the mean, median, and the standard deviation for each variable, that is age, medical charges, and the BMI. So first we need to understand what does the mean, median, and standard deviation tells. Here the mean value always tells the average value of the data set. Instead of representing the thousands of data, we could represent the thousand data with a through only one value, that is average value or the mean value. Median value is nothing but the midest uh, value of the data set, and standard deviation is nothing but how the data set is deviated from the mean value, that is standard deviation. Lesser the standard deviation, more accurate it will going to tell the consistency of the data set. So that thing we will come to know by calculating all these things. For that I have used the formula, the Excel formula, like average, median, and the STDV EV. So the results are like that. The BMI, the mean, then the median value of the body mass index is almost near, that is 30.66 and 30.40, but the mean is quietly larger than the median, but standard deviation is too less. It means the data is consistent. Okay, so and it's almost symmetrical distribution of data. We can see we can say by seeing the mean and median values. Come to the age is also there is a slight, almost the mean is equal to median, so it's a symmetrical age distribution we can say, but the standard deviation is quite high. It means the data is not consistent. It's not consistent we can say. We could not say the age is like that. We cannot say the only one particular value of the age. So it's because the standard deviation, we cannot consider the mean value for the interpretation of the age, because the standard deviation is too quite deviated from the mean value. So that we can conclude here. And charges, the medical charges, here the mean and median values too difference. There is a, we can observe the huge cost difference between the mean and the median value, and also the standard deviation is also quite high. It means um, it means small, like the data is not consistent. First we could say that by looking into the standard deviation value. And here the mean is much larger than the median value. It means the data is rightly skewed distribution. Okay, and only a smaller number of individuals incur very high expenses. Okay, and also the higher standard deviation charges, which will going to reflect there is a variability in the healthcare cost across the individual. It means the medical charges is not going to same across all the individuals. It will going to vary across each individuals. That the standard, that what exactly the standard deviation is going to tell. So this is the interpretation that we can consider by looking into the mean, median and standard deviation value. Next is a gender analysis. Is nothing but we will going to calculate the average BMI and average charges across the gender. Is not for male and the female. For that I have used the pivot table, or also we can use average if. But here I have used pivot table. It's quite simple and easy and more accurate than this the other this average if formula, because it will going to take a huge time to calculate, because if data is large data set, the sometimes the excel going to stuck will going to stuck. That kind of difficulty I have faced by using if I going to calculate by using average if formula. So from that we can say the average BMI in case of male is high than the female, and also the medical charges is also high in case of male compared to the female. So it means the male will going to expand will going to do the more expenditure on the health cost rather than the female. That thing we could conclude here. And also here we can observe that there is no such a large difference between the BMI and also the medical cost. It means the medical cost is not only influenced, is not strongly influenced by the gender. It's a like weak predictor, we can say that. Okay, here one mistake I have done, that's a blank value. It should not come, because I have selected all the rows instead of selecting only the rows which contain the data set. For that I need to use control shift and down arrow key. That thing I have missed here, sorry for that. And then the task is to analyze smoking status and the cost. Is nothing but whether the individual is a smoker, what is the average medical charges. If he's a non-smoker, if he or she is a non-smoker, then what may be the medical charges. That thing we will analyze here by using pivot table. So here we could observe the large huge difference of medical cost between the smoker and non-smokers. So we can directly say that the smoking is a strong influence a factor influencing the medical cost. Okay, that thing we could say here. Smoker is incurring large medical cost towards the insurance compared to the non-smokers. And also we analyze the dependence versus medical charges. What's the correlation between these two variables by plotting the scatter plot. And also I have calculated the correlation coefficient between these two variables. So if you look into the figure, that is a graph, that is scatter plot, we could say that we could not find any particular pattern that the two variables is following. So we could not find any particular pattern like linear or non-linear. We could not say that. And also we can observe some outliers in the data set, and also we can observe highest medical charges across all the categories of children's number of children's. So but the correlation coefficient is 0.067. It means it's too far away from the one. But it is positive, but it's too far away from the one value. It means it's a their existence of weak positive correlation between the number of children and the medical charges. It means the number of children are nothing but dependence is also a weak predictor of the medical charges. And also we analyze the regional variation in the medical cost and the BMI by using the pivot table. And also for the visualization I have plotted column bar graph. So here by simply looking into the column bar graph we could say legends or the average charges yellow which predicts the average charges, and maroon color which predicts the average BMI. The south is region is having highest average BMI, and whereas northwest is having lowest average BMI, whereas the average medical charges is high in case of southeast region, whereas it is low in case of northwest region only. So it means we could observe the significant difference in the medical charges across the region. So reason is one of the key influence a key factor that influences on the medical charges. And also we need to take the reason reason wise, like particular reason wise remedies to reduce the medical charges. Here we can say that. And also we analyze the cost distribution, how the medical cost is distributed. For that I have used the histogram to plot that. Usually then if the data is normally distributed we can so if data is normally distributed we could find the normal bell shaped kind of graph, we could say we can find that. But here we will we observed it's a rightly skewed distribution because the graph is slightly skewed at the right, so that we could clearly we could clearly see from here. So the histogram shows the right skewed distribution of the medical charges. The most common cost bracket is nothing but the highest frequency of cost we could observe here is between 0 to 5,000 and 5,000 to 10,000 dollar is in a dollar. And a higher medical cost occur less frequently with a very few observation above the $40,000. We could see here like 40,000 is observe we could observe only 54 observation, 35,000 is only 29 observation we could observe here. And also we analyze the BMI analysis by distribution of BMI categories by plotting the this pie chart. So first I have used VLOOKUP formula to categorize the BMI underweight, normal weight, overweight, and obese category. I have used the conditions if it is less than 18.5 kg, then they are under the underweight, and between 18.5 to 24.9 they are normal. Overweight, if they are having if they're overweight, 25 to 29.9, and obese, if 30 plus BMI value is 30 plus, then they are under the obese category. Here you can see mm, in Excel I have calculated this by using first I have created the VLOOKUP table. Zero underweight, like less than 18.5 to 0, they will fall under the underweight, and 18.5 to 24.9 the normal weight, 25 overweight, and 30 plus they are in the obese category. Here you can see I have used VLOOKUP formula. VLOOKUP value is C2, that is nothing but this is BMI value, that the value we want to look up in the table array. Which is the table array? You can see the table array is, this is the table array. Okay, then column index number, that the column index that we want to return in the VLOOKUP value is the second column. This is the first index, this is the second. Okay, then that is the index number, and the lookup range. If you want the exact match, we will going to give the false or approximate match we are going to use for false or true. So that's thing I have used here. Then once I categorize the BMI into different categories, BMI value into different categories, then I have count how many number of individuals in each category by using COUNTIF formula. Here you can see COUNTIF. So criteria range is eye to eye. First criteria is nothing but if it is underweight, then only you have to count only if the underweight is there. Then second, for that, count only if normal weight is there. That condition I have given. Like that, for overweight and obese, I have calculated the number of individuals in each category. So that's thing only I have pasted here. From this, we could say that obese category dominates the distribution by 707 individuals are in the obese category, followed by overweight, that is 386 individuals, followed by normal weight to 225, then the underweight, that is only 20. So so underweight individuals are rare and contributing minimum medical risk. And the advanced correlation also we have done uh, by using Excel only, by plotting scatter plot, but have used trend line to calculate the slope and also the R square value. For this, I have fitted the trend line. So here, the R square value usually tells it measures the goodness of fit of a model. We could say that's the R square value. So it tells like R square value is 0.039. It means only 3.9% of variation in the medical cost is explained by the body mass index, and remaining 96.1% of variation in medical cost is explained by the other factors that I have included in the model. So that's exactly the R square value tells. Okay. Then here we can also see the slope value, that is 431.3 times x. Is it, what does it tells? The slope usually tells if uh, 1 unit increase in BMI results in increase in medical charges by $431.1. That exactly the slope value indicates that we have done in here. It means the BMI is also low. It's R square, it tells only 3.9 variation. So BMI is also a weak predictor of a, there is a weak positive correlation is exists between these two variables, we could say here. And also at the last, the reason with the highest medical cost for smokers only. So I use pure table only. So here you can see charges are significantly higher across all the region that we could easily observe from this table. Southeast region is having highest medical charges for the smokers, highlighting the potential healthcare cost burden in this particular region. So so we can observe the significantly there is a difference in the medical charges across all the region. So we need to take reason specific smoking session program to reduce the medical charges cost. So thank you.